London is to be as hot as Barcelona by the year 2050. Well, if London is to be as hot as Barcelona, what will Barcelona be as? Algiers, Morocco, the Sahara? London to be as hot as Barcelona by 2050. I research urban heat and I'm skeptical. This is by Robert Wilby, Professor of Hydroclimatic Modelling, Loughborough University of the UK. This is on The Conversation and it's Creative Commons. Barcelona just had a week of temperature above 30 degrees Celsius. It's a few degrees hotter than the long-term average, but no heat wave. In winter, Spain's second largest city is typically in mild 15 degrees Celsius or so. With its climate regulated by warm Mediterranean waters, temperatures rarely drop below freezing. That's how it is in Greece as well, by the way. This is what the future holds for London. One group of scientists certainly thinks so. In a new study, they tried to convey the risks of global warming by finding the closest modern-day climates to describe what the future might be like for certain cities. They predict that, for instance, Madrid's climate in 2015 will be like Marrakesh climate now. Seattle will resemble San Francisco. Stockholm will feel like Budapest. And that London will become like Barcelona. It makes sense to focus on cities as they are literally hotspots of climate risk due to their dense populations, concentrations of assets, and susceptibility to extreme weather. Getting this message across to city managers and vulnerable communities is not always easy. The researchers gathered data on the background climate of 520 major cities. 19 variables, including maximum temperature of the warmest month and precipitation seasonality, were combined using a statistical method that takes account of their relative importance and interrelationships. Equivalent variables for 2050 were obtained from 3 climate models, which were all programmed to take the optimistic view that emissions will stabilize this century. Present and future city climates were then used to twin, quote-unquote, the most similar metropolises. Pairing cities in this way is a clever idea, but such like-for-like comparisons are just too simplistic. This is because cities make their own climates according to their unique layouts, building materials, artificial heat sources, amounts of open or green spaces, and types of water features. Now, before I go on with the article, London is a beautiful city because it's got a lot of parks, a lot of greenery, a lot of lakes in the parks, and it's just beautiful. Now, and not only London as a city center, but the little quaint towns and villages around as well in the countryside. Going back to this, pairing cities. Okay, we went through that. There can be fundamental differences between 2 cities in these respects. For example, Barcelona has among the highest population densities in Europe, at about 16,000 per square kilometer, more than the 10,000 or so recorded by inner London boroughs. Population density is a useful indicator of both the intensity and level of exposure to the urban heat island. Compact cities tend to be hotter cities, of course. While Barcelona is striving to become a greener city, nearly 2/3 of Greater London is already occupied by gardens, parks, and waters. Across the city, such space provide cool refuges for people and biodiversity. For instance, satellite observation reveals that on a hot summer's day, Richmond Park, a large space on the western edge of the city known for its deer, can be about 10 degrees cooler than parts of the more central Southwark, Lambert, and Westminster areas. Even in these central boroughs, temperatures are chillier, although the Thames River embankment than just a few hundred meters away. Hence, the multiple microclimate experienced day to day and from place to place within a city are more readily characterized by a few summary statistics. The actual felt temperature depends on a host of factors, not least the effect of atmospheric humidity. Conditions can become lethal when dangerous combination of temperature and high humidity are exceeded, something that unfortunately already occurs in cities such as Karachi, Pakistan, or Kolkata in India. Global warming means that 350 million more people could be exposed to deadly heat by 2050, and South Asian megacities are in the front line. However, with 4 degrees Celsius of global warming, even New York could become heat stressed. So any assessment of future conditions in global cities should evaluate the combined threat of heat and humidity. According to the Lancet Countdown 2018 report, threats to human health from heat waves are becoming more frequent and dangerous. Despite the above reservations, the new study does alert us to the possibility that over 1/5 of the studied cities should shift to climate conditions hitherto unobserved anywhere on Earth. This applies to cities such as Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, Libreville in Gabon, and Manaus in Brazil, which are all in the tropics. Extraordinary temperatures are already being experienced within the homes and workplaces of some low-income communities of cities such as Accra in Ghana. Trying to visualize how these places might be further stressed by climate change is an important step towards improving the well-being of some of the world's most vulnerable urban citizens. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.